Andrea, very nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
Why don't we start the interview off by you telling me a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm from Korea.
Okay.
It's been almost 8 months living in Vancouver for...
8 months.
Yeah, I've been living in Vancouver for 8 months. I love traveling. I especially enjoy experiencing the new things like nature. So that's why I love Canada. And I'm doing double major in economics and business management. I'm really interested in marketing, so my future goal is to work in the marketing industry. I was a member of a marketing club for 1 year. I made many marketing projects for many companies in Korea. So I'd like to apply my knowledge in real situation in the marketing company. It would be a good chance to work with you.
Awesome, great. And so, 8 months in Vancouver.
Yes.
So why did you choose Vancouver? What made you decide on Vancouver as a place to study?
Well, I thought about going England, America, and Canada.
Okay.
But my father didn't recommend me to go to America because it could be dangerous.
Okay. Yeah.
And England, at the time, there was a riot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah.
It looked dangerous. So I decided to come to Canada.
Great.
Yes.
And what was your first impression of Canada?
First impression, it was rainy, but I didn't feel depressed because I like rain.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay. So you'll love Vancouver then because
Yes,
it does rain. Awesome. And so what are your strengths?
Strengths. My strengths is that I'm meticulous and well organized. Well, when I do my assignments or when I have to work, I always check and double check until the work is completed by the deadline. I'm trying to look the mistakes I did in order to do a better work.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm meticulous and I'm also well organized. So when I work in groups, I'm the person who usually record the meeting, the contents of the meeting, and then upload the information to the members.
Great. So what do you know about my company?
Your company?
Yeah.
Well, for your company, for this interview, I studied your website. So I know that your company's clients are mainly about the companies in the fashion, food, and beverage industry. And I also know that the CEO, David Kim, thinks it important to be creative and enthusiastic about marketing and want to hire employees who love marketing. And I also researched and looked for information about the marketing industry in Vancouver to see what the current trends are.
Perfect, great. And so what are your long-term career objectives?
My long-term objective is to work as a marketing manager. Well, I'd like to manage the whole process of marketing, from developing a product, building concept and image of the product, and creating some promotion or events like that. I'd like to manage the whole process. I know it requires me a lot of responsibility and it gives me the pressure, but I think it's worthwhile.
Okay, great. And what motivates you? What's your motivation?
There's two things.
Okay.
The first thing that motivates me is my father. Well, my father has lots of goals still now, even though he is 50 years old. He's hardworking and competitive and confident in his career. I really respect him about that. And I also want to be a daughter who can give everything my parents want and my parents need in the future when I grown up to support them. So these two things supports me to do my best.
Great. Can you tell me about a time when you got some feedback, when you received some feedback? What was the feedback, and what did you do about it?
So could you make an example for specific?
Sure. An example, just tell me a story about when anybody, not a boss, a teacher, classmate, someone gave you some feedback.
Oh.
Yeah, and you got the feedback.
Yes.
What was the feedback? And then what did you do after you heard about that feedback?
Well, I usually got the feedback from my friends that smile all the time because they said when I don't smile, I look so cold.
Okay.
So they cannot. They said they couldn't approach to me at first time because I look so cold.
Cold. Okay.
So after I heard that my friend's advice, I always try to smile all the time.
Great. So as a marketing assistant, what tasks do you think will be really easy for you?
Well, I think every task in marketing is really important. For me, I think I'm sure I'm creative. So based on the market analysis and customer needs, I like to make a promotion and events. And I think I'm good at that one.
Okay. What tasks do you think might be difficult for you as a marketing assistant?
Well, these days, brand is really important.
Yeah.
Even though the people think the other company's products is good, they think brand is more important than the quality. The youngs, for example, they pursue trends and famous brand.
Yeah.
So for me, branding is really important and it's really difficult because this is really important for business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you have a lot of tasks or deadlines, how do you manage your time? What kind of things do you do to manage your time to make sure you get everything done?
Well, I usually make a schedule.
Okay.
Schedule and organized my schedule there. And according to the deadline, I finished my work one by one.
Okay. So if you were me,
Yes.
and you were hiring someone for this job,
Yes.
what characteristics would you look for?
May I have a moment
Yeah.
to think? Well, I'd like to hire who has many experience in marketing. It doesn't need to be exact work experience. It could be the experience in a marketing in university. So if it's a person had a lot of experience to make marketing project in different industry like food, beverage, airline or anything, if that person is flexible, then I want to hire him.
Okay, awesome. Can you tell me about a time when you had a disagreement with a colleague?
Well, when I made a marketing project in a university, I had a disagreement with my colleague. We are preparing a project for a food company who are trying to make a lunchbox business.
Okay.
And for that, we are presenting some kinds of products for lunchbox. He wanted to focus on 2 or 3 kinds of lunchbox, but I thought the people got sick of them easily because this is not the various kinds, even though we can save our budget.
Yeah.
So I said I disagreed with him, and we talked and discussed a lot about that, what advantages and disadvantages for each plan.
Yeah.
So after discussing, we decided to focus on 2 or 3 for main lunchbox,
Yeah.
and make a special one which changes every day. So we could both satisfied about that, and we got a compliment from the professor about our marketing project. After that, from that I experienced and I learned that there's always some things to learn from colleagues. So it's really important to talk and discuss a lot with colleagues when I have a disagreement.
Great. So teamwork. When you work as part of a team,
Yes.
what role are you most likely to play on the team?
I'm usually assist my leader.
Okay.
Sometimes I could be a leader if the leaders do something else
Yeah.
and cannot manage us. I usually do that work too, but assisting my coworkers, my colleagues, and my leader is more comfortable to me.
Great. So last question. Why should I hire you?
I think my marketing knowledge and skill can helpful to your company, and I also can experience and learn something from you a lot. So I think if you hire me, we can both satisfied.
Great. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes. If I do an internship here, what tasks would I be doing
Great.
in this position?
So a marketing assistant, the tasks that you'll be doing in this internship, there's actually a lot of interviewing. So you'll be doing a lot of analyzing, interviewing clients. You'll be doing some research, but you're also there's a lot of teamwork too. So you will be part of a team that will brainstorm a lot of different ideas. We anticipate or we encourage everyone to share.
Oh, I like that.
Awesome.
Yes.
Great.
And can you describe the environment in this company?
Sure. I would describe the environment in this company as very fast-paced, very open,
Yes.
very efficient, very organized. That's how I would best describe this environment.
And what attributes do you want your employees to have?
I want the attributes that I want my employees to have are, respectful,
Oh, yes.
accepting of other people's ideas, and people that participate. I often encourage everyone to share ideas, put their hand up, and really participate as much as they can.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
And when can I expect to hear from you?
You can expect to hear from me on Thursday.
Oh, on Thursday.
Yeah.
And may I get your business card?
Sure. Here you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Great. Well, thank you for coming in today. It was really nice meeting you.
Well, thank you for your time and consideration.
No worries.
I'm sure that my skills and knowledge can helpful to your company and me, and I'm really excited for the opportunity to do an internship in this company. Thank you.
You're welcome. Great.
Thank you.
So you're finished.
Oh.
So how do you feel?
I feel nervous, but now I'm okay.
Okay, so are you not nervous still, are you?
Yeah.
A little bit? Okay. So we're going to go over your interview, and I'm going to give you some feedback, and then if you have any questions, you can ask me, okay?
Yeah.
So body language, no problem. Eye contact, no problem. Really good job at communicating, so really good English skills. You did a really good job of understanding the questions. So sometimes the questions could be, sometimes questions can be real. Sorry, can be you're too close.
Okay.
Questions can be. It's not an English thing. Some people can just interpret questions differently. But I think you did a really good job of understanding my questions. One of the things from your introduction, I felt you were very comfortable. You didn't sound rehearsed, so I really felt if you were nervous, you did a really good job of being able to perform and really deliver a good introduction where I didn't seem, or it didn't feel like you were nervous, so that's great. Strengths. I really enjoyed your strengths. They were very detailed and very specific, so meticulous and well organized, which is awesome. You knew about my company. You knew a lot of great facts about my company. Your long-term objective of marketing manager. I like how you talked about wanting to see the whole process, and you really used some different terminology. You used some great terminology throughout your interview that was really basic and really important to marketing. So that's awesome as well. I'm glad that you brought up stuff like branding and promotional and those pieces. So really good job with that. Feedback question, very simple, but that's exactly. It doesn't have to be this big formal feedback that you got from somebody. It could be as simple as that. And so you did a really good job of understanding that. Tasks, what's going to be easy, what's going to be difficult. Again, this is where you used a lot of marketing terminology, and you were able to really communicate or be articulate about what would be easy, what would be challenging. Time management, which is really important, I think, in any job. Yes. You did a really good job of telling me you use terms like scheduling, organizing, prioritizing, step by step, being able to do your projects. Again, simple answers, but it's really about the details of those things. Another good answer you did was, I think you did a really good job of explaining the disagreement. You were still very positive, and just sometimes talking about disagreements can get very negative. The way you answered it, you were able to be very subjective, and you were able to compromise and work together. And saw results that way. So, a very good answer. And then, really, I don't have any constructive feedback for you. I think, like I said, I think what I really enjoyed about your interview, Andrea, is that you were very descriptive, very specific, and you were to the point. And those interviews, I love those. Those are really good interviews. They, I think just because of how you answered the questions, we whipped through the questions pretty quickly because your answers were very detailed and specific. And that's great. That's exactly where you want to be with an interview. People, you don't waste time. You get to the point, and you're able to really sell yourself, and you're able to tell me. That's where you have the best. You were able to really show me that you got it. So good job. That's difficult to do sometimes. So really good answers. Like I said, I don't really good answers and really comfortable. And so I really don't have any constructive feedback for you. The ending question, why should I hire you? You talked again about your marketing skills and knowledge and how that could help my company, and how that would really be a win-win situation, which is awesome. Don't be afraid to also include things that make you different from maybe other possible candidates. So talk about speaking 2 languages. Don't be afraid. Anything that will make you different, especially in Vancouver, speaking another language. Not just in Vancouver, but speaking another language and Korean, having a huge Korean population in Vancouver might be beneficial to my company if I have a lot of Korean clients. So don't be afraid to use that as an advantage or a strength as well. Okay?
Is there anything else that I can say to differentiate my...
Sure. You tell me what makes you different from other people. Yeah. What else do you do that could make you different?
Well,
So language and culture first.
Yes.
You know, I always say it's not even just the language, but it's the culture is a huge piece too. If you have Korean culture, or if you have Korean clients, I understand their culture, and so I can help you with that. You know, it could be anything. You know, when I think about things that might make me different is, you know, it's all about individual. What makes you an individual, right? So, and if you don't have the work experience, you can pick anything through, you know, talk about a promotion that you saw from start to finish. What else would make you different as a person? It could be anything. It could be, you know, I've traveled a lot, and so I've got a lot of different perspective of different cultures. Or, you know, I'm new to this country, and I have a different perspective of how I see ads and how I see it, and how I see media. And so I can help you reach not just Korean, but foreigners. Yeah. And what does that look like? I'm really well versed in social media, and I'm able to, if you need experience with that, I've got a great understanding of you know, how, and use your age too. Like, I'm a younger person, and that could be to your advantage as well. So there's a lot of things that you can use depending on the industry that work in your favor, especially if you don't have a lot of work experience, right?
Yes.
So things like that. Things that are like they're obvious, but you're not talking about them, but you should really use them as an advantage. Like, it's obvious, if I'm sitting here interviewing you, I assume that you speak Korean. So use that. It's definitely a plus. If I spoke 2 languages, I would always mention that in an interview. Because you never know. You never know where that would be an advantage, right?
Yes, yes.
Absolutely. Do you have any questions about the feedback or the interview at all?
No, I think I understand.
Okay, awesome. You did a really good job, just so you know. So awesome.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
For interview.